Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? It's Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today is Tuesday, June 15, 2010, and I'm going to get right into it because we have a lot to cover. First of all, there's a lot of comments. Appreciate the comments, and I'm going to try to answer them as best as I can in this short amount of time. But first thing I wanted to point it out that if you're fairly new to this blog or the system, there is a link right above the video that says if this is your first time visiting this blog, read this first. Please click that link, because what this link has is the entire layout of the system. I think if looking at a lot of the questions, I feel like if you read this page thoroughly, it would answer probably about 85% of your questions, if not more, because it tells you all about trend change candles, how to find a trend change candle, how to look for setups, and the exact rules to the system. And if it's not in here, then that means it's not a rule. Now, there are gray areas, and if there are still some questions, the next thing you want to do is go to the left side of this page, and there's this link called Cowabunga System FAQ for frequently asked questions. Now, if you go to this page, a lot of the questions that I've seen on those gray areas, I've posted answers to, and you can simply click one, and I have an answer for you there. So please, 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 if you're new to this system, I strongly encourage you to visit those two pages because it should answer most of your questions. So again, this one right here, right above the video, and I post this link on every post, and then on the left side there's a Cowabunga System FAQ for that. So I hope that helps. And with that said, some of the questions here that can be answered there, I'm just gonna, not in a rude way, but I just want to encourage you to take a look at those pages, because I think that your question will be answered in there. And so for this first post, I know you're asking, do I really make that much amount of money? And I don't think the way that you are calculating the profits is entirely accurate, because you can't do kind of like an average of 20 pips a day, because it works in swings, and I know you can get a generalization, and it depends on what also, because pips can mean different dollar values. You know, if you're trading micro lots, or even, you know, some platforms allow you to choose your own size of position, so it all depends on what you're doing. I would recommend not to look at dollar amounts, but look at your percentage on return, because if you can consistently make good percentage return on your account, then it doesn't matter what the dollar amount is, you are profitable and you are successful. So hopefully that helps you, and you know, I don't think it's quite appropriate to name the exact dollar amounts that I'm making, but again, it's a great question, an honest question, but honestly I can't officially answer that question, so to speak. But again, don't look so much at the dollar amounts, look at the return, your percentage return, and you know, pips also helps too. But your question here, when you're in a long position, and do you close it when it you know, the crossover goes the other way? Again, that's, you know, there is no rule that says that, and I would refer you back again to that intro page with all the rules, and if it's not in there, then it's not a rule. So as a rule of thumb, don't do it if it's not in there. All right, use that as your guide. Next question wants to know about GMT. I am right now -4 GMT, so if you're +1, that means I'm -5 for you. On daylight savings time, when I'm -5 from regular GMT, that means I would be -6 from you. So hopefully that will help you to kind of correlate the time zone that I'm in. But right now I am in -4 GMT, so for you it'd be -5. Next one wants to know about the trend change candles. Again, please refer back to that intro page. It talks all about how to identify trend change candles, and I'll go through it again in today's video. Next one wants to know about the stops. Keep the stops at what the rule says on the swing high and swing lows. That's really all I can say. If it, you know, go by that intro page, whatever's in there, use that as your guideline. If it says it in the rule book, then follow it. If it doesn't say it, then as a rule of thumb, don't do it. Because remember, I've written those rules down because, you know, due to extensive testing, so you can have some faith in them. So again, if it says it in there, then follow it. If it doesn't, then generally you don't want to do it. So stick to the swing high and swing lows for your stop. With X-Tick brokers, I'm not really sure I know there's a few brokers you can use, FXCM, and I think another one I can't really remember, but I'm not sure. You might have to contact XTIC directly and ask them, so I don't know that for sure. With MT4, if there's more than 5 or 4 decimal places, go by the first 4, because sometimes they can narrow it down even smaller, but go by the first 4 decimal places. So hopefully that'll help you. The next one, again, wants to know the 4-hour chart. I'm not sure what you need clarification on. If you could be a little more specific about what you need help on with the 4-hour chart, I can probably help you there. But again, look back at that intro page and hopefully it'll help you. And the next one is just a comment about the system. So again, I hope that kind of helps. I don't have much time to go into too much depth, but I think those 2 pages will help you out a lot. If you still have questions and you're still confused, then by all means, please ask again. Alright, so let's get right into it. I'm going to open my charts up. I have my 4-hour chart and my 15-minute chart. First, my 4-hour chart, and I'm moving this back to before midnight so you can see what it looked like. Now, the most recent trend change candle was back on the 14th. Trend change candle, crossover to the upside, RSI is above 50, stochastics trending up. That is a trend change candle. So from that point all the way up to where we're starting through today, the trend was up. All right. Now, if I move through today's action, you can see that the trend was still up because there were no new trend change candles. The trend change candle was for an uptrend, and we haven't had any new ones since then. So therefore, our trend is up, regardless of what these indicators are doing. Our trend is up. So we're only looking for long trades today. All right. So now I know my trend. It's up the entire day. I can start my trading day. So I'm at my 15-minute chart, but before I start that, I want to take a look at my news events for the day. So you can go to babypips.com, click on this tools tab, automatically brings up the news events for the day, and we're looking for news that affects the UK or the US. So you just go into this currency column, look for GBP or USD, and then see if those news reports are worth noting. So at 4:30 we have CPI. That is worth noting. You can see this red flag, so just to help you out there. So 4:30 is a notable news time. If I go down 6:15, that's not really important. It's just a Fed president giving the St. Louis Fed president giving a speech. Not a big deal. 8:30 we had Empire State Survey and import prices. Import prices not that great. Empire State Survey is not that great either, but it is somewhat important. So I'll mark that down just to be safe. 9 a.m. the TIC. That's pretty important. So I'll jot that down. 10. The NAH builder server is not that big a deal, so I'm not really going to regard that. But again, 4:30, 8:30, and 9, I'm going to jot those times down. You should probably do the same thing or set some kind of alert to let you know when those news events are coming out. But now we're ready to start our day, so I'm going to move my chart forward 1 candle at a time and simulate a trading day. And remember, we're looking for long trades, so I'm looking for a crossover to the upside. Alright, so here we get one. This is at 345. RSI is above 50. Stochastics trending up. MACD has gone from negative to positive. A valid entry here. However, this candle closes at 4. And I know I have news coming out at 4:30, so there's only 30 minutes of trade window there. So I'm not going to enter it because it's right before a news event. So no entry for me here. And here's the 4:30 news candle. You can see it. This one actually saved us from not entering. So again, you got to follow the rules. Here we get another crossover. RSI is above 50. Stochastics trending up. MACD, if I zoom it up a little bit, was negative on the previous candle and went to positive. So this is another valid entry. So you can enter at the close of the candle at 47.56. Our stop will be at the most recent swing low at 46.82. The target will be at the nearest 50 or 0 level at 4,800. We're not near a news event, but if we do run into that 8:30 news and we're still in the trade, we're going to go ahead and exit there. So now I'm just going to watch my trade and basically just see what happens until 8:30. So 8:15, I'm still not out of the trade. I know news is coming out at 8:30. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and exit. And I exited at 47.44 right before the news event. So a slight loss there. But again, we don't get stopped out entirely, which is good. It saves us some pips. And here's the 8:30 candle. And if I just move through, you can see that it did continue to move up, unfortunately, but nothing you can do about that. And that pretty much rounded up the day. So I know I'm kind of talking fast, but rewind the video if you're kind of confused. Again, ask questions if you're still confused, and I'll try to answer them as best as possible. But that's it for today. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next update. Cowabunga, dudes.